Content creation, blog writing for B2B SEO. Your buyers are researching before your SDRs ever reach out. In B2B, the sale usually starts in a search bar, not in your inbox. When 93% of buying processes begin with online research and decision makers consume 3 to 13 pieces of content before talking to sales, your blog becomes part of the buying committee's due diligence, whether you planned for it or not. That's why content creation for B2B SEO can't be treated like marketing vibes. If you don't show up when prospects Google their problem, you don't just miss clicks, you miss deals you'll never see in your CRM because the buyer formed an opinion before your first touch point. At SalesHive, we look at blog writing the same way we look at outbound. It should move a deal forward. A strong SEO blog educates your ICP, pre-handles objections, and creates clear paths to conversations. Then our SDR agency teams can use those assets in cold email and call follow-ups to turn education into meetings. Why B2B SEO still runs through blogs, and why that's good news. Search is still the highest intent discovery channel for most B2B categories, and organic search drives roughly 62% of B2B website traffic. If your blog doesn't rank, you're invisible to the majority of buyers during the exact window when they're forming shortlists and evaluating alternatives. Blogging also compounds. Companies that blog consistently generate about 67% more leads per month than those that don't, which is exactly why a well-built blog is one of the few marketing assets that gets more efficient over time instead of more expensive. Depth matters in B2B because the questions are complex and the stakes are high. The average first-page result is around 1,447 words, and long-form content, often 2,000-plus words, can generate roughly 3 times more leads than shorter pieces, perfect for teams that would rather win the right accounts than chase vanity page views. Start with a sales-qualified keyword roadmap, not content ideas. The fastest way to waste a quarter is writing posts your internal team enjoys, but your market never searches. We recommend starting with a sales-qualified keyword list built from real-deal language. Pull the last 20 to 30 closed-won opportunities. Extract the phrases prospects used, the competitors they compared, and the objections they repeated. Then translate that into topics you can actually rank for. This is where SEO and revenue alignment becomes real. A blog topic should map to a funnel stage and a sales motion. Problem-aware posts create credibility, solution-aware posts create consideration, and comparison implementation posts create intent you can convert with a direct CTA. If your SEO content can't be used by a B2B sales agency team in an active deal, it's probably not focused enough. One practical check: make sure each planned article supports the buyer journey that is now largely digital, often cited as roughly 67% happening online. If your blog isn't covering the questions your buyers ask during that digital research phase, your competitors are teaching your prospects how to evaluate the category. Write each post like a mini landing page with one conversion goal. A B2B SEO post has 3 jobs: get discovered, change a belief, and drive a next step. The mistake we see most often is publishing informative content that ends in a dead end. No CTA, no internal path, no reason to engage. So traffic becomes anonymous education instead of pipeline. Pick one primary action per post and design the narrative to earn that action. If a reader searched for an outsourced sales team, sales outsourcing, or an SDR agency comparison, they're signaling evaluation intent, so your CTA should match that intent: assessment, discovery call, or demo. If they searched for a tactics question, offer a template or playbook first, and then step them toward a conversation. To make this operational, build a standard blog template in your CMS that forces conversion structure. A clear promise in the intro, scannable H2s, proof points, data, examples, mini case studies, internal links, and at least one strong CTA that makes sense for the query. This is also how you avoid the thin content cadence trap. Shipping 600 words weekly feels productive, but it rarely ranks or converts in competitive B2B. If a blog post can't be used in an email follow-up, a call opener, or a late-stage objection battle, it's not finished. It's just published. Build long-form pillars, then turn them into outbound-ready assets. In-depth posts win when they're genuinely useful. It's not about writing long for the sake of length, but it's worth acknowledging the benchmark. First-page results average around 1,447 words, and 55% of bloggers report better outcomes from posts over 2,000 words. For complex B2B topics, like choosing cold calling services, evaluating a cold email agency, or deciding to hire SDRs, depth is how you earn trust. The play is to write one strong pillar, think 1,500 to 2,500 words, and then create sales derivatives from the same source material. Email snippets, LinkedIn talking points, call talk tracks, and one-page summaries. That's how one post becomes a content hub that supports inbound SEO and outbound prospecting without fragmenting your message. This is also where we see the fastest revenue impact. Even before rankings fully ramp, your outbound sales agency motion can deploy the new asset immediately. Our teams routinely weave new posts into sequences as value-led touches, especially in industries where buyers are skeptical of telemarketing, cold callers, or generic telesales pitches, because helpful content lowers defenses and raises reply quality. Common mistakes that kill rankings and pipeline, and how to fix them. Mistake 1 is writing for brand vanity instead of buyer intent. Thought leadership is fine, but if it doesn't answer a real query, it won't earn discovery. And if it doesn't earn discovery, it won't create net new demand. The fix is simple. Lead with intent data and sales language, then layer your point of view on top of what the buyer is already searching. Mistake 2 is treating SEO and sales content as separate work streams. When marketing publishes posts that sales never uses, and sales builds decks that marketing never supports with search content, you get inconsistent messaging and missed touches. The fix is a shared calendar where every post has a sales use case, objection handling, competitor positioning, implementation guidance, or ROI framing. Mistake 3 is letting AI write everything without human review and original POV. AI can accelerate research and first drafts, but generic output rarely differentiates, especially in competitive categories like B2B cold calling services, sales development agency offerings, or pay-per-appointment lead generation. The fix is a human-in-the-loop process, SME input, editorial standards, and proof points that reflect how your team actually delivers results. Measure content like a revenue team: meetings, pipeline, and influenced deals. Rankings and traffic are leading indicators, not the win condition. If you want blog writing to earn budget, you need attribution that connects posts to form fills, booked meetings, and influenced opportunities. That means consistent UTM tagging, first-touch capture on forms, and CRM fields that let RevOps report content influence without a manual spreadsheet. A practical way to align marketing and sales is to standardize how each post is used across the funnel. Below is a simple framework we use to keep SEO content tied to action, especially when sales teams are running cold call services, cold email agency tests, or broader sales outsourcing motions. Review this performance monthly with sales leadership and make it a decision meeting, not a reporting meeting. Double down on topics that generate meetings, refresh posts that drive high-intent traffic but low conversions, and prune content that doesn't align to your ICP or your revenue narrative. What to do next? A 90-day plan that compounds and plays well with outbound. SEO is a compounding engine, but it's not instant. In most competitive B2B niches, Expect a 3 to 6 month ramp before posts consistently rank and convert, especially if you're building authority from scratch. The shortcut is not more posts, it's better posts, written from sales reality, built for conversion, and updated as the market changes. Start with a joint sales marketing workshop to define a 90-day roadmap. Pick 8 to 12 topics tied directly to closed-won deals, objections, and competitor comparisons. Commit to a sustainable cadence of in-depth pieces, 1,500 to 2,500 words, and plan quarterly refreshes for your top performers so rankings and conversions keep improving without restarting from zero. Finally, operationalize adoption. Every time a post goes live, ship a lightweight enablement pack to reps with suggested sends, persona fit, and talk tracks. When inbound SEO and outbound execution work as one system, whether you run in-house SDRs or an outsourced sales team, you stop choosing between content and pipeline and start getting both.